Hi, I'm Mike Glenn. I'm Senior Pastor of Brentwood Baptist Church, and welcome to our YouTube channel. We are glad that you're joining us. Today is a little bit of an irony. Yesterday, when in the sermon, we talked about the dangers of social media, and here I am using social media and the internet to warn you about the dangers of the internet. What I want you to be aware of is that the platforms of the internet, the social media channels are not neutral. That is, all of them have an agenda. Now, sometimes that agenda is good and sometimes that agenda is not so good, but you need to be aware that nothing coming to you is neutral. Everybody is trying to influence you in some way, and everybody is trying to get you to do something. The scripture is very clear in that we are responsible for our own thoughts. We are responsible for how we think and what we think about. Now, I know you're saying, hey, Mike, I can't control what thoughts come into my head. No, well, you can, but it does take a little discipline, but that's a whole nother video. What I want to talk to you about now is you can let go of those thoughts that come to your head that are not helpful, that do not make you a better person, that do not bring you closer to Christ. Those random distractions that hit your brain, you can release those. But what happens in the internet is we dwell on them. We grab them, we chew on them, we think about them, we argue about them. We will send the video that made us mad to someone else. We will say things on social media that we would never say to somebody in person. So you need to be aware that what's going on inside your head while you're on the internet may or may not be helpful. Now, don't hear me say that everything is bad on the internet. I don't mean that. I have heard some great lectures on the internet. I've seen some of my favorite musicians play some of my favorite songs, all because they were available on the internet. I am saying that you have to be responsible for what content you watch and absorb. You have to be aware that not everything is going to help you to be more like Christ, and if it doesn't, then you need to get rid of it. And in Philippians, Paul says, whatever is beautiful, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is of moral excellence, these are the kind of things that you think about. And we don't think about anything else. Here's why that matters. What you think becomes what you desire, and what you desire becomes what you do, and what you do becomes who you are. James, in the first chapter of his letter, says that what we think about becomes what we want becomes what we do, and our actions then become sin, and then sin brings death every time to everybody. So it all starts with what you think about. So ask yourself while you're on social media today, is this helpful? Is this bringing me more like Christ? If it's not, then get rid of it. Some of you may need to go to extremes of getting off of social media altogether. Some of you may need to limit the time that you're available to social media. One of the disturbing things that we're finding out is that social media, the guys who do this for a living, have found out ways to make your brain respond with dopamine when you are on the internet. You know what that means? Every time you click a certain thing or go a certain space or go to a certain space, it creates a little high in your brain, and it leads literally to addiction. And so they are rigging the internet so that you become addicted to it, and you need to be aware of that. You need to be careful with that. And some of you do not need to put yourself in a position where you can become addicted. Now, you're saying, well, Mike, what if I get off the internet? You'll be fine. You really will. You may miss out on a couple of delightful cat videos, but other than that, your life will be fine. You'll have more time for those things that you really enjoy doing. You'll have more time and space for those people that you really love. So be careful with the internet. I'm not saying don't use it. I'm saying be aware that it is not a neutral platform, and it's certainly not a neutral agenda. We'd love to hear from you. You can do that by hitting like or hitting subscribe and let us know if this is helpful. We want to be of help to you in your daily walk as you follow Christ. I'm Mike Glenn, Senior Pastor of Brentwood Baptist Church, and we'll see you next time.